and I go around and get pictures with everybody, and I come back here and say, look at what I did. But if I'm not there officially,
But you are known there. Even your name is known.
but it's not because I've done any of that.
Yeah,
because
Someone's
people-
pulling this across is what's happening.
Yes, that's the one we want to stop.
Right.
That's the thing
Yeah,
we
because
want to
it's-
stop. You know, like these claims of some Philippines, when they come here, they visited you. Oh, you know what? I was in the main office, and this is what they said. And this is the thing
Well,
we have to do.
and that's true.
Yeah.
They visited, and yes, it was in the main office,
Yeah.
but it was not on an official basis.
Yes.
There's the difference.
Yeah, and that's the that's the problem we want to solve for us who resides in the States. You know,
Right.
probably they will believe us because we reside here.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's the thing. And one way we think is this way.
See, to my knowledge, there's been no invitation extended. We're very careful
Yeah.
to keep the separation, to say, we are not affiliated with
Yeah.
the Philippines.
Uh-huh.
You know, there was an agreement back in whatever, 1984, that went on, but in 2008, I mean, it becomes such a big issue that it went before the grand chapter.
Actually, this is a very strong.
As our fraternity.
Yeah, that's the only thing that it have the same name.
That's it.
But the thing is, again, those people are coming here to visit it. They go here, it's just an observer. When they go back to the Philippines, they, you know what, I was invited, I attended their seminar or whatever, convention, That's the thing, I don't know how we are going to stop this one. That's the thing we want
Well,
to stop.
I mean, I think there is a way.
Uh-huh.
And that's, and I would really have to have that discussion with Gordy, is that we take a very hard break and say, we have no more discussions.
Yeah.
No more anything, no one attends our convention, no one, we allow other fraternities to come to our convention if they want,
That's good.
just as a friendship
Yeah.
kind of thing. But, I mean, we don't go out, we don't go invite all of these, they have all their own things to attend. And what's happened is they've taken that ability on the friendship and they've made it something much more. I think that's the problem that we.
Yeah.
So we're helping, blindly to perpetuate this, almost a lie.
It is.
At that point, is we're helping to perpetuate.
Yeah.
So maybe the only way to do that is for us to
Not to.
not.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not welcome at our convention. We're not gonna meet with you. If you come and you want to meet with us, it's gonna be no.
Yeah, but sometimes, we believe that they did not really come here. They just go to America, they go to Disneyland, and they will say, we went to Alpha Sigma Pi headquarters.
They're using the name.
You know what I mean? That's it, They'll just go to Disneyland.
And I
they
can't
go-
control that.
I agree.
That's
We
the
cannot
problem.
control that. Yeah, that's why we would like to ask again a letter, I know this is the very strong letter. As you have said, this came from to the highest authority of this fraternity,
Is it possible for us to write, what's his name, Rector, Proctor?
Brian Proctor?
Yeah,
Proctor
Proctor,
to write him for his opinion, the opinion as of this date about this one. Then he can answer us.
You can do that.
Yeah. So that maybe we can request him. In other words, we will see the facts of the case, right? The facts of the case.
exactly like this, whatever in this
Just like
content.
confirmation.
It's just a
Just to
rewriting.
confirm this, to
Yeah,
rewrite this one.
just
that
rewrite
as
it,
of this date that. It's really what this
No.
is stated, no?
As soon as you say partners, though, it creates a whole different belief system
Yeah, this one.
of a relationship
Yeah.
at that point. And I think if you were working hard to separate that, you can't have it both ways.
Correct.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
It's kind of like,
yeah. You have to only go in
Yeah,
one
yeah.
side. Either you partner
we get
or
married,
separated.
okay, and then we get a divorce,
Yeah.
but I still want us to be partners.
Cannot
Well,
be.
wait a minute. That doesn't work. You can't have it both ways.
I agree.
We can be friends, But the minute that I use the word partner,
different.
it changes what people believe about us at that point.
Dennis, this is the irony, right? We do have the international heads of agreement, right? That is one.
Yes.
Where's the page two? Then that is noted by USA, and do you know these people?
Okay, but the problem is, this is null and void.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
void by
no,
this-
no, 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 no.
No, it
It
was
is
void by
not
this letter.
void. But if you are trying to read the provision of the law, the agreement, the truth of the matter, we are not related, because as enunciated in number one, we are not partners, we are not so and so, we are not related with them. That is already impact. Making this letter is
yes.
only a supplementary to this.
Yes, it
Yeah, we are not
was,
partner.
but this whole document, if you go to this letter, has been set aside, is no longer
Correct,
valid.
correct, correct.
Not even the good that it
forget
says.
all about this
You
when this
can't
came.
even, it's like, you can't even talk to this because this supersedes
Yeah, right,
it.
right.
And this is the document
Yeah, and,
that supersedes
and
it.
that's one reason, if only you can rewrite this again, the same sense and everything is just telling the people there back home that you see for the second time, we have no relationship with Alpha Sigma in America. That's the thing we want to
And
show
we're
to
not
them.
allowed to use the
Because
or
this bill
any
letter is been
symbols
2000.
here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the thing that we need a follow-up letter for this one, because until now we're still using
There is
the,
They,
the,
they,
yeah, we're still using
Some of them are still using
the
this.
symbols.
yeah.
So in order
That's
to
possible.
stop that, and
You have your
we need
copyright
more.
law. You can even file a suit against
No,
us.
it's
You
be
know.
out of the
Well,
country.
Yeah, and
That will be a
see,
big deal then.
well, what I'm also thinking of, and I don't want to go too far out on a limb here because it just legally. I would say this is something that I could sit down with Gordy, perhaps, and I'm just saying perhaps, is that we get Brother Proctor to reissue the letter.
Yeah, yeah, please.
Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or we have the fraternity's general council put out a stop and desist order,
Yeah.
cease and desist,
Cease and desist.
using and saying all of the
Yeah,
other, everything that's in there,
Everything there.
only it comes from the fraternity's attorney.
Yeah.
Very
say-
good.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
it's come
If
to
we
our
can do
attention.
that, yeah.
That's the letter really, because
That's
after
the
this,
best.
our plan after this, we'll make a photocopy and hard copy will distribute to the Philippines.
Because
Okay,
the
who-
members are
Who does
blind.
it need to go to?
I will be going there next year by.
No, the national
Who?
president.
Is that the national president
It's-
still?
No, he's not no more.
Okay.
It's,
Another one.
it is,
What's the name? Can you give the name?
Bill-
it is there, in the hard copy.
It's over there.
It's here.
It's where?
It's here.
Oh, it's in
Oh,
the
yeah, it's
packet?
listed, yeah, in the packet.
Oh, if it's,
Yeah.
If that's the most important letter we need really.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking is,
That's the
but
main
in essence,
purpose of
what
this
you've
one.
done is
But
you've
the-
come here and said, we understand this, it's this. There's a whole entity out there
Yeah.
who is still continuing to use
Yeah.
all
And
of
they're
your
practicing
marks
that,
and your
yeah, yeah.
signets, and we need to be able to send that and say, no.
And the address you give
Is
the
it-
address.
Yeah, the one.
Abalano?
No.
Is that?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
This one. Yeah.
This is
Delano,
the-
Batok.
Yeah, National
Batucan.
President 2012, 2014. See that?
Yeah. But
We
the
are authorized, but
address is still the
I
same.
just signed it,
The national address is still the
Oh, the
same.
national address,
Yeah.
okay.
Only the name.
This is, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
this is my ID,
Yep,
To state to the fact that I'm a father, fraternity, founding father in the Philippines,
wait a minute. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Those were when I was.
What did you do? Go to China and have them make you up a little?
He's a very close friend of mine.
Now, you see this? We don't even do these anymore.
Yeah.
We don't do
See, that's
membership
why
cards.
that's we used to discuss. Why do we need
And-
an
Yeah.
ID?
And
ID.
until now, we use the coat of arms in our national identification.
Look at that, coat of arms USA. The ID, I beg to disagree with them, but what can you do? That is their way, cosa latit notissima, all the...
That is best is noticeable.
Even our national ID. Still,
Yeah, that's
are
the
you
thing
guys
we
seeing?
want to cut. Hey guys,
So are we allowed to use this one or what?
you are not.
Yeah.
You don't belong there,
See, and this, we've retired. We don't even use that.
Oh, yeah.
No more ID.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have gone through a lot of changes and a lot of our symbols have been retired. We still own them,
Yeah.
but they've been retired and
Yeah.
we're not in active use. You'll see more are, the seal, the round seal
Yeah.
is what we're use.
If it is a
So-
vessel, it's already decommissioned, right?
Well,
No more.
we don't, not dick, yeah, it's been just put aside for
Yeah.
now. It's not the one that we use. Okay, so in essence, what you're asking for
Is
is this
rewrite.
letter,
Uh-huh.
either by the grand senior
Yes,
president
please.
and/or our general counsel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoever as
With
long as
a,
current.
with addition to cease and
That's
desist.
the
Very
proper
strong.
legal term.
Very
Yeah.
strong
To
term.
disease.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cease
Or
and
else,
desist.
a penal sanction in proper judicial forum will be
Where is that letter you would like to
instituted,
draft?
something like that.
Yeah, because the
Because
next,
they are liable,
right, the
If
next
they're-
thing that happens is we can bring action.
Thank you very much. If
That's
you
the thing we want.
can
We-
do that,
Yeah.
that's our
you
main
know.
purpose. If we
Yeah.
can get that letter from the
Will be I
from
think,
the grand senior president, then we really appreciate your
exactly like that,
You know.
Okay.
And we will tell them, "Hey, guys, for the second time, if you don't believe, for the second time, you went back there and this is the result.
Yeah, and,
You are not connected with,
something to the effect that it's coming to our attention
Yeah.
that since 2008, you have continued to use, something like,
I
okay.
like that. That's very good. Thank
Okay.
you very
Then
much.
you
yeah.
continue with some of the questionnaires because within your level you can answer it, because it doesn't involve the current senior president anymore. Yeah. Right.
Okay, so,
There is their sorority.
There is a question about the, how come you don't have any sorority here in United States?
because the United States is not set up that way.
Yeah.
Sororities are separate entities.
It's
Because
You don't find combos, with male and female in it.
Yeah.
If you go to our national constitution, it is for male members only.
It's a fraternity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is strictly a fraternity. The sorority would be a different, separate organization. And we operate under, different laws, different constitutions. Everything is separate. It is, in the United States, I don't know of any off the top of my head that have both.
yeah, because in the Philippines, we have a sorority. We named it before as Sigma Mu Alpha, and it gives it has a big role with the fraternity because we help each other.
Yeah, but see, we don't have formal relationships between them. They are separate
And,
entities.
and that's another contradict to the claim of the Filipino fraternity that they are connected with Alpha Sigma Pi USA. I was telling them Alpha Sigma Pi USA has no sorority.
Right.
It cannot be,
Yeah.
And so, from that alone,
We had, in the past, they had things called little sisters that and that led to some issues.
so you
And
cut
we've
it.
done away with that completely. We don't want that association. You get into ungentlemanly behavior.
Yeah.
All right.
You get into abuse. Those things could all happen, and that's why we are a fraternity of men,
All right.
period. So, I think, I don't know if that answers your question,
I
but
think-
that,
Yeah, I think it does.
it kind of goes back to, Germany can have whatever they want
But that's
under
women.
their, what, and you can't come to the United States and question, well, why aren't you doing it? Well, we're a whole separate entity. We do things differently, and that's how we've chosen to do it.
That's what we want.
Right.
Under
That's just how it
Adolf
is.
Hitler, women cannot serve in the armed forces. In Germany, Second World War, no women, you know.
Yeah, so I mean, it is truly a difference that is there. But, yeah, I mean, when I read initiations and things from the Philippines 12 years ago or so, when
Yeah.
you first brought some of those, and
Yeah.
my eyes got about this big, and it was like, they do what? You know,
You don't.
and I can't say you are wrong. That's the way you guys
Because that
do
is
things.
our-
That's okay.
That is
That's
our-
okay.
That's what-
that is
It's-
our right.
that's-
We respect
That's
That's
it.
kind
system,
of, well, yeah, that's your system, that's the learning, that's the way you do it. It would be like, in some, and I'm not even sure, you know, the Philippines has its governmental structure.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, why aren't you like the US? Well, no, we do it our way, and that's just like Philippines couldn't come to the United States, well, why aren't you doing it our? Well, all these countries all do it differently. And it's not to say that it's wrong, it's just different. And that's where we get into the appreciation for separate entities. I appreciate the way you do that, we choose not to go that way, we're gonna go do it differently. It's just the difference, why do some join, you know, I use it because it's a close by fraternity here, Delta Tau Delta. Well, why don't they do it exactly like Alpha Sigma Phi? We're different fraternities. We have different values. We have different systems in place. We can appreciate each other's and their differences. We don't have to all be alike. I don't know if that helps, but I mean,
Right,
that's,
then-
and I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, yeah, next page, please.
Oh, so they were members.
Nagbibideo ka. Kuha mo ka niya.
Yeah, I mean, and some of this goes back to, that's what Richard Gibbs decided to do at that time. But we've had several different presidents since him.
Yeah.
And they've all, it's just like Tom Hinckley did not run the fraternity the same way that Gordy Heminger runs the fraternity. Each CEO
Different.
runs it and operates it differently. And I can't say what Tom did was wrong. He did it, and there's a lot of
In
things
his
that
own way, as Frank Sinatra says, my way.
exactly. You know, so organizations kind of fall under that leadership. I'll use another, let's go back for a minute to the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
You know, you look at under each pope,
They have their own
things
system.
are done differently. And that's not to say, you know,
What he did is wrong or what.
well, yeah, I mean, if I go all the way back into the 50s, at one time, they talked about receiving communion within that. You had to fast for 24 hours. Today, you fast for an hour. Well, was it wrong? You know, that you're not doing, so each leader,
A different.
there are things that are different, and they will change those. So we can say this, but, and God, I wish the pictures were here, because I don't remember the years. But when Gibbs was here, back in, what was it, in the 80s?
Yeah,
Yes, right.
You know,
82, 84.
in the 80s, that was valid back then.
Yeah.
But you can't take that and bring it into 2014. I'm sorry, we've had a lot of different CEOs since then.
Yeah.
And they're hanging, some of this hangs on what Gibbs did, because that's the last contact they really had. But it's like, that's null and void now. That's no longer valid. You know, you can talk about it historically,
Yeah.
but you can't bring this forward.
Correct.
But whatever he did here before, at this point, is already void.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
void,
right,
yeah.
right.
yeah. You know, because it was not reaffirmed and
Yeah.
reaffirmed. And if that were the case, every CEO who's come in here would have to have reaffirmed it at that
Uh-huh.
point.
The contract,
And it wasn't.
yeah.
And, you know, and we go either CEO or Grand Senior President,
Yeah.
and we've already got one in between there that
Yeah.
said, it's off. And in fact, not only did he say that, but as our organization is, Grand Chapter is all of the chapters. That's the governing body. And the governing body voted and said, break the relationship. So, there isn't, and that's what you want.
One more question with, what's the name again?
Gibbs.
Huh?
Gibbs.
Gibbs. All those action and decision he made for the Alpha Sigma Pi in the Philippines, was that authorized by the main office or
Council.
the council? It's like, for example, making some 2 or 3 members there that you are a officially member of Alpha Sigma Pi USA. I think there was like that, right? Yeah. Was that officially? Was that official?
That, at that point, that could have been official. The next step that I would want to go is to go look in the database to see if that was in fact done here,
Yeah.
or if that was only done there.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's one thing we want to clarify.
Okay, so I'd have to look at that person individually. I would say it's highly unlikely.
Yeah,
And again, I have to go back.
yeah.
I don't remember if Richard Gibbs was Grand Senior President or was Chief Executive Officer. Hold on just a minute. Let me, there's one other place I want to look for. Dig and we find out things were run very differently and I would say probably a little more loosely, so that, if he said that you could be a member,
That is.
Yeah, that's what he said.
maybe,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, that's not how we would do things today. That would have to be approved by the Grand Council. So he would have to come back and take that before the council, and the council would have to vote on it for that to be a reality.
But there was no votation that time, in that case. We don't know.
Richard Gibbs.
But whatever happened there with Richard Gibbs, with that letter of the, what is that? With this letter, it boils everything.
Yeah, right. Everything.
The only problem is this letter was not really shown to
Yeah, it
everyone.
was
Well-
not disseminated to the members of the Philippines.
And now,
So
if we
if
can
you
get
know-
a new letter from you guys here, for
No,
sure.
So,
we
so
will
even
disseminate
if
it.
we get you a new letter,
Huh?
what's gonna prevent, what's gonna keep them from not doing it again?
Well, at least that letter, we will be instrumental for the dissemination.
The reason for
Yeah,
that is that
because
right
they are
now-
the one hiding it,
Yeah.
But if our group will place that in the website and everything, then it will change the whole scenario.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Because right now, the situation back home is that there are so many members whose mentality or thinking is so-so.
No,
Is it
Well-
true? It's not true.
Here's a question that I just talked with Matt Humberger, and Matt is like vice president. The issue that we're very sensitive to is what's just happened in your homeland.
Yeah.
I mean, his kind of comment was, is that the right thing to even think about doing right now with the devastation that's going on? So, we're very sensitive from
we-
that.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, we
works.
understand that one, but this plan for us to coming here was been planned about
Sure,
6
sure.
months ago.
Yeah.
What's going on in the Philippines, actually we are still participating. We are doing the best, whatever we can help to them.
Right.
Especially
Right.
those
Now,
alumni
the thing
California.
is, it's getting clearer and clearer
Yeah.
as crystal. The seat misrepresentation falsehood is now little by little known.
Yeah.
Now, we are now going to make it crystal
Yeah.
clear.
We understand how you feel about our country.
Well, yeah,
We
I mean,
understand,
yeah,
how you feel about the situation we have now. But as I have said, this plan coming here has been
Yeah,
planned
yeah.
about 6 months ago. But at the same time, we still give a very big consideration what's going on back home.
Right, right.
Probably with this letter that maybe we will get you. Of course, we are not going to send this as soon as possible. Probably, maybe after 2 months, 3 months, when everybody's healed from that devastation we have.
Okay. Yeah, that's just,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because of what we're seeing, it's like,
Yeah.
this is gonna be the last thing on their mind right now.
You
Right
know,
now, they're in a survival
Yeah,
mode.
by the way,
Yeah.
this is the situation, no? In the Philippines, we have tattoo, right? You know this one, tattoo, right? They have tattoo too, 1845 in their body, in their...
So, I mean, every time I see Richard Gibbs and the reference to it, it's like, yeah, but it's all null and
Yeah,
void.
I
It's
agree.
all null
Yeah,
and
yeah,
void.
yeah.
So,
Okay, next page, you know.
nationwide world comes on this. I mean, it keeps going back to what the
Yeah.
letter says is
Yeah,
what the
right,
letter
right.
says.
Because all these questions, as I have said, will be answered by that letter. Diba? All these questions will be answered by that letter.
I mean, this question here, are they afforded the basic rights of a member? Just as any other fraternity would be, but it has no standing. They have no standing at any of our events.
Yeah.
They're visitors. That's all they are, is visitors.
Yeah.
And they're really members.
A right to full participation.
As a guest, maybe.
They cannot
As a
give-
guest.
Yeah.
Right. They probably, and I would think, if we did a closed ceremony, an esoteric ceremony, they would probably not be allowed to attend. Open ceremonies, yes. All of our exoteric, which are the open ceremonies, they're welcome to those. But then, I can go get anybody off the street, they're welcome to those. To our closed ceremonies, they are not a brother in our fraternity. Just like if I were to go from here over to Delta Tau or to the sorority next door, they welcome me with open arms, but I do not get to go to any of their secret ceremonies.
Yeah.
I don't have membership. I am not part of. So from that, full participation as a visitor. A right to make a motion? Absolutely not. Speak in debate? Absolutely not. They have no standing. They can vote? No. Appointed as a member of committees or boards? No. Elected or appointed person? I'm not sure what that means, but I would think no. Can bring business before the assembly, especially on pertinent Philippine matters? No. There is
No
not
relation.
that relation.
No ties
You're a
with
guest.
each other, yeah.
You are a guest.
Yeah.
It's you are guest in our building. I will treat you as guest, as welcomed guest. But I'm not going to make you empty the waste cans or clean the bathrooms or all the things that we do as a staff member, because you are not a member of our. I mean, even our members, we don't do that. But I can talk, secret ceremonies with our members. I will not talk secret ceremonies
Correct.
with you.
Exactly.
And I would not expect you to talk secret ceremonies
Oh, no.
of your
No.
organization
The
with
same
us.
thing, yeah.
The same thing.
And vice
Yeah.
versa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's,
So that
So I state otherwise, Fullerton's merely guests and mere spectators and bystanders. Yeah, that's truly what it is. I don't know how else to, it's, to me, it is extremely clear. We do not have, there's no more further relationship at that point,
at that point, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, in your mind, you think in the future or in the next generation that the heads of agreement can restore pace between USA and Philippines can join again? I mean, due to the heads of agreement
Is that possible that they will
Revival.
to regain or
Sure, that's
to
what
restore
this
pace that
question.
one?
Listen to my words very carefully. all things are possible, highly improbable.
Yeah.
But highly improbable.
Probable.
Possible but highly improbable. So there is a qualification.
It becomes very difficult for me to say what the fraternity will look like 50 years from now. I tell you today, we are so foreign to alumni that I deal with from the 50s. What they knew the fraternity as back from the 50s and 60s is nothing like what we are today. That's even within our own fraternity. So to talk about outside relationships and what that might be, I think if I were to kind of, guess what it might look like in the future, is I think it is more like what we have today.
No.
We know of each other, but we are separate entities. We exist separately, we have different governing rules, we have different operations, everything is different. And it is no different than a completely separate fraternity that we acknowledge. I acknowledge all of the other national fraternities in the United States. They exist, they're there. They are all interfraternal brothers, but they are not an Alpha Sigma brother. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I mean, and that's where I think is, we're trying to make more of it than what's there. And I just don't see that. I don't believe there will be a need to go outside the national, footprint of the United States at this point. We have so much expansion to do just here.
Not outside the country.
Right.
No.
That throws another whole layer of issues and things, and I don't think we as an organization, after 168, 169 years, we're still not ready to even begin to address any of that.
That's the numbers that really stick to their mind, 1845, and they can go to another university and they will tell them, what, our fraternity is the oldest fraternity in the Philippines, 1845. I said, no, you're not.
Yeah. Because back then we're still hoping that we can still do the heads of agreement in the future.
Right.
And that's the thing they don't believe, you are
Right.
not. What you're telling is the Alpha Sig in in States.
Drew Towley is still here, right? With you?
Kasi ibang address.
No more? Where is he now? Drew Towley.
I'm not sure just exactly where he is. Yesterday
He was here.
there was a big announcement. Gordy Heminger is now the CEO and president of the fraternity and foundation.
Yes, right.
It is all in one.
Foundation.
It's
And
all one.
they unite the foundation and the fraternity.
Yes.
So
There are two separate boards,
before, two separate boards.
but now there is one CEO over
For both.
For
My
both.
God.
And that happened in this room at 9 o'clock yesterday morning, the announcement.
Just 24 hours ago. Huh?
Yeah, so that's part of why you're not gonna get a hold of
Oh, I
Gordy
see,
at
yeah.
this point, because he's just taken over the whole foundation, and his workload is more or less doubled. Thank you. I remember
Can you give
this,
this to
I
the-
remember this.
Actually,
Oh my
I
God.
sent you a copy. I do not know if you received. Did you receive one?
I don't remember.
I sent a year ago about that copy, I do not know if you received,
God, he was a
Anyway,
handsome guy back then, wasn't he?
Look at our appearance 12 years ago.
Oh my
Bunch
gosh.
of-
But I will see that Drew gets this. But I know that Drew had said that he was gonna step down, and I'm not sure just where all that fits in right now.
By the way, do you know Matson? Matthew Matson?
Matt Matson, yes.
Well, what is his designation before? Is he also a director or something? Because Glitcher gives allege that he's the director of the expansion program.
He probably was. I'm going, oh man, that goes way back to, Matson was here when I first came to work here back in 2001. It was after that he left. Matson owns his own company now.
Ah,
So he's still a brother
very
associated,
enterprising. Huh?
but he has started his own company. And there was another guy with him, Josh Arendi. The two of them run a company.
Both members of the Alpha Sigma Phi USA.
Yes, and not associated with this. I mean, it's a whole. They're out in business for themselves.
I see.
And I think if I remember right, Matt Matson lives in Denver.
Huh?
Matt Matson lives in Denver.
Denver. I asked that question because he was with Richard Gibbs in 2001 April.
Okay.
He attended. Then he was there. I remember his speech. I do not know where Philippines is, you know.
Yeah.
Until I was surprised. I don't know where Philippines is. I only noticed about it when I came here.
Yeah.
That's what I said. That's why I said, my gosh.
So
That's why I have there the history of the Philippines along that file. It's about our history.
Yeah.
Most Americans do not know that we were once a U.S. colony, you know, and we were U.S. nationals for 48 years, but not U.S. citizens.
Well, but see, that's not so. You know, U.S. typically is very arrogant. Yeah, we don't even know about. If you were to ask, you know, what are the provinces in Canada? Majority of them couldn't tell you. Don't know anything about it. Don't know anything about Mexico. You know, it's because they're so egotistical. It's about us. It's all about us. You know, when you look at the size, heck, we don't even know enough about our own 48 states,
Correct, right.
let alone. You know, I have a hard enough time keeping up with what's going on with the state that I'm
Imagine
in.
you multiply Philippines 5 times, that's the size of Alaska, you know. You multiply Texas and Philippines. Texas is bigger than the Philippines, you know.
Yeah.
And our population is around 100 million already. English-speaking Filipinos.
I
you
know, but
Imagine.
it's the people in the U.S. just don't get focused outside of
Yeah, right.
what's here. You know, some do, but the majority, you know, there's not that. And I think my guess is we as the United States have had the ability. We go to other countries and help them. Very seldom have we ever had another country come in to help us. They talk about that. Katrina happened.
Yeah,
No one came in to help. We took
Correct.
care of it ourselves.
That's why,
You know, we go to England, we went to France, we go to Germany, we went to the Philippines, we go,
That's really
you know, we do the going out, which builds the relationship, but it's more of a relationship back, that caring back because we came to help, but no one's come to
It's
help.
one-way traffic.
It is very much so. Great observation. That's,
you know what it reminds me? I was in Little Rock, Arkansas. I don't know if you've gone to Little Rock, right? Have you gone there?
yes,
Then I went to a eatery, restaurant, right? So 3 Americans came. They asked me, maybe it's their first time to see a Filipino, you know. I said, from where are you? I said, I'm from the Philippines. Where is the Philippines? Is that in the South America? He said, my God, it's a
That's why I'm saying,
island,
most people,
7,000
they really
islands.
don't care what's outside them.
right.
America is so vast
Right.
that you don't even, see all the places.
Right.
Yeah. Like for example,
We
I've
don't
been
even see places within this state. Most of them don't even know the north to the south of
That's
this
already,
state.
Then why in the hell it will go to the people?
I'll go back to my, they asked me, from where are you? From the Philippines, you know. Where is that? The sabi ko, it's an island near, China, so and so, whatever, and composed of 7,000 islets, whatever, you know. By the way, how come you speak English, you know? Well, I'm a fellow who is fan of jokes, you know. You know why I speak English? I bought a dictionary 2 weeks ago, you know. I master it.
Yeah.
Then that's why I speak English. And the guy said, oh yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, they do not know.
Right.
I speak English because they do not know that the official medium of communication in the Philippines is English.
Yeah.
Okay,
Doesn't know.
camera.
Yeah.
And thanks to the Americans for
Sino ba?
teaching us.
Go back to you.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
So, Yeah, because
What-
I've got another
Yeah,
appointment 11 here.
I
in a
think-
few
So
minutes.
what will be the chance for us to?
He will,
Yeah.
according to you, you will help us, right? Maybe request the
I'm gonna request, I'm gonna
Request.
talk to Gordy about getting a letter
letter.
from the
Okay.
Grand Senior
Uh-huh.
President and the General Counsel to cease and desist. And we will send it
To the President.
To the President, Yeah.
You know.
to this President at that address.
Not
Okay.
this one, he's not the president
No,
anymore.
to
the
this
address.
The
address.
address.
Yeah, this one.
Address. This
That one.
President.
This one, the president.
Right.
Is
Right.
it, yeah, okay, is it possible for us who are now residing here in California?
To
Is it possible
get
that
a copy
we
to
can
CC.
have it, copy?
CC for
Yeah.
Who am I
for
sending
me,
it
for
to?
Tom Gabara. CC for Tom Gabara. May kindly give me a copy so that
We can
I can
just in
disseminate
case, you know,
Yep.
properly nationwide and worldwide. Me.
Okay.
That
just
will be
in
my
case,
goal.
you know, because
Okay.
we are
This
afraid,
one,
you know.
Ragdam also.
Huh?
Today.
Huh?
In case. Yeah,
And in
to
this
answer
one,
the
and in this
questionnaires.
one, you know, maybe kindly check, right? Kindly
Thank
check
you.
Thank
the
you very
things that
much.
you answered. That, you know, just check, you know.
Well, if you know, you want, we'll go ahead and I'll answer these. And I can send you the answers with this.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Right.
And I'll send it to,
Yeah,
You know, I
to
think
you,
that will be
Tomas,
much
Yeah,
and you
better.
get
yeah,
it.
and that
I
will
thank
be
you
Then
very
your
much.
way you'll have a,
Yeah, because we're
You try
afraid,
to
you know,
study,
it might
you know.
be undermine again.
yeah, no, I will just go through that
Uh-huh.
and, you know, I'll make sure that Gordy's read it and he's
Uh-huh.
approved
Yeah,
the
right.
Yeah,
answers.
Thank you,
Just so-
thank you.
today, and we're going back today.
Now,
Just for
bigay mo
this
yung
thing,
kopya.
you know.
That's
Bigay
not
mo sa
fun.
kanya.
This one.
That magazine.
Oh, this one.
No, I have one.
You can have that magazine.
Okay.
To
Thank you.
assess to the companies, everything is about 1845
Okay.
in the Philippines.
No, I'm just gonna do it that way. I think that's what happens.
That's what
at
happened, you know.
convention is, you know, the conversation was all the people from Philippines, that deli, they were running around getting pictures everywhere.
Everybody,
Really?
that's what
It's
they're
like-
doing, you know.
Yeah, no, there are
But
only,
how they take it back.
yeah, there are
what
only
they say.
3 persons that we know that they came here, I think, 2 times. Came here 2 times. The last one was about 6 months ago.
At
And,
New
you know,
Orleans.
the same news again, you know. You see,
New
I was
Orleans.
invited because there's something
Yeah,
business
yeah.
to be done in our fraternity.
And they said they participate actively in group discussions, you know.
And they would say, you know what?
Ah. There were educational sessions. Anybody could sit in on educational sessions. Yeah, they could have discussions in
Yeah.
there, but that wasn't part of the business of the fraternity.
Yeah. But the wrong thing there, when they get home,
It's a whole different story.
different story. And
Ours
oh,
will be a
really?
different story.
Yeah, yeah, see, now I can send it out and say, boy, I met, you know, with the Philippines, they came over and they made me a member of their organization, and I'm a member of their organization. I got pictures to show and, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing.
And nobody knows the difference. You know, I had the executive president
Yeah.
and I had, you know, the
The
head of the
Grand Central of
board
California.
and, you know, and the president of
Yeah,
the Philippines
yeah.
was even here and, you
You
know.
make your own story.
Oh, yeah, just the whole thing. And nobody knows the difference.
Imagine you're with me, the founding father of the organization.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine, look at my face, you know.
Well, thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you very
for
much,
having
Danny.
us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.